besties! Welcome to the hot seat, where we'll give you an inside look into the beauty industry.
We are your hosts. I am Rosie the Nail Tech,
Diana, your lash tech.
and today we'll be diving into the beginner's must-dos.
So, if you want to get started, or you're thinking about doing nails or doing lashes, this is kind of like a list that we recommend that
Right.
you take into consideration.
Yes. Before we start, I can't stop laughing. Ya estoy drunk.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding. Before we start, we kind of wanted to add this new segment into our videos into our episodes where it's like a little weekend recap. So I guess I'll start off. Last time we filmed, that was on Tuesday, right? Right? Okay. So honestly, my weekend was just nails, but at the same time, my Saturday was very hectic. I had 2 appointments, didn't end up doing them because all the nail stores were closed. So I kind of like it was horrible, pretty much. And then I went to the rodeo. That was fun. And then other than that, we're back here. Monday I had nails again, and then today's Thursday. So that was pretty much my weekend. What about you? Anything fun?
My weekend, I didn't do much. I just basically just worked. I have a second job and I do lashes throughout the week. So that's what I did, and just busy.
Just working.
And then like Target runs here and there, but yeah,
Right.
you know.
Let's talk about real quick. Sorry about how they're supposedly banning TikTok. I'm sad about that.
I don't even believe it. Because
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Because
Go ahead.
they've talked about it before, like
Yeah.
what
they
in
have.
like 2020?
No me acuerdo.
I don't even
But a
know
while
what
back.
year, but it was a while back where they had said, "Oh, we're banning TikTok,"
Yeah.
and nothing
No,
happened.
no hicieron nada. But I did see like that they were like actually I don't know how you call it, but like in the meeting or whatever, and they were passing it. This still has to go through some people, but most of them are saying yes. So it's like I guess like an 80% chance they will. So Loki kind of hoping that they don't. Not because like I don't get paid or anything, or like I'm not big, but it's like it's still like a good platform to have, which we
It
will
would-
be diving into later
Yeah.
about social media, and it's sad.
It would end a lot of careers, I feel
It
like,
would.
because most of the people that you like probably watch,
Yeah.
they
They
came from
make
TikTok,
money
you know?
off of TikTok. That's their
Yeah.
job. So, anyways, yeah. So
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully not, but let's talk about our first topic of today, which will be going over school, getting licensed, and being certified. A lot of people don't know that there's a difference in those. A lot of people think that just being certified is okay, which it is, depending on what state you are. That's all you need to,
Yeah.
do your service and charge people. But depending on what state you are and what you're, I guess, I don't want to say majoring, but depending on what you're doing, you do only need your certificate, but in some things you do need your license in order to work and charge people. Which, if you didn't know, I am licensed and Diana is certified. So I guess we can dive in a little bit about our experiences and the pros and the cons, pretty much. So
Which I think we also had talked about it at the beginning, like how it was for
yeah.
you, like during the whole COVID time for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was school like? What was your experience there? Like, what did you actually work on? Because I've seen a lot of like videos to
Mhm.
where people say that you go for something, or like let's say you're doing hair, but then it's like they don't really like
Yeah.
focus in that sense as how you think you're going to learn. I feel like
Mhm.
everybody's different, and each school
Depending
it
on what
works different as
yeah.
well. So, what was it for you?
So for me, it was definitely pretty much that. Like we had like this course where it was just nails. So that's the only thing I did. I really don't remember how many hours I had to do. It was probably like 600 or 7. I don't remember. But there is Cosmo, there's esthetician, there's the nail course that I did, there's an instructor if you want to be an instructor. All different ones have different hours, obviously. I knew I didn't want to do hair or anything else at the moment, at least, and so I just did the nail class. And even my mom was telling me, like, just do the whole thing, because you don't ever know if you're gonna pick up something else or want to do nails,
Which
lashes in the future,
which would be good.
which would have been good, because now I'm kind of thinking about, I don't know, waxing. So it's like, if I had my cosmetology license, I wouldn't have to go back to school. So I would definitely say be sure of what you want to do, and if you're maybe thinking about in the future of like adding something else to your services, just do the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
more hours and money, but you don't have to
Just
go back.
explore your options
Yeah, for
and
sure.
see what really entitles into like each category. That way
Yeah.
you're more fully like aware of what you
Right.
can do and like not get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
So for the moment, I mean, I will be going into getting my license soon. I'm working on that, so I'm excited.
Woohoo! I'm excited
But
for her.
I am certified with my lash tech. She's an instructor and she always holds classes.
She always has classes.
Yes. It was back in, man, I don't
cuevas?
even know. I think I was like 2021.
Okay.
2021, I think. Don't hold me over for this, but I think. And it was a 3-day course. She taught us like everything from like sanitation to like different styles, different eye shapes, and we did on a model, on an actual person, because compared to like the little faces that sometimes you practice on, the lashes on there aren't so accurate to compare to a human eye. So it's like it's so many
Some are
more
curlier and stuff, right?
Yes,
Shorter.
it's like it's so different. So I mean, but it was a good experience. It was like I think like 4 other girls there with me, and it was
You learned.
nice. Yeah, like
That's good.
you get to ask questions and stuff like that. But it is like more of a shorter term, like
Right.
so you don't really like if you don't ask, you won't pick up on little things. Like it's just depending if you're interested or like, or if she didn't say something, then you can ask for it. But so I'm really like I'm going to school. I'm gonna go to school.
I'm so excited for her.
And then like just hopefully like learn more, and then
You will.
maybe add something else to my you know,
your little palette.
Yes,
That's exciting though. Palette. I will say how you were asking me how my experience was. The main thing that we learned at school was just sanitation and disinfection, like what you do need, because that's mainly what your state board is going to be on, just being clean and making sure you know how to disinfect and sanitize all your tools. But at the same time, like I had already been knowing how to do nails, so whenever I went to school, I didn't really need to like start learning from like step one, right? But there was girls that would come in like knowing nothing from nails, and so like and they would leave the program, like they would only last like a month, and then they would never come back because they never learned anything. And it also depends on what school and what instructor you have, because girl, we had like 4 or 5 different instructors because everybody would leave, and so everybody teaches differently. So let's say one instructor was like, this is how you use this or blah blah blah, and then 2 weeks later we had a different instructor and they're like, that's completely wrong. So then that would confuse us, because it's like, well, not me, right? Me being like, I knew everything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's like it confuses people. So my experience was not that great because you don't really learn much in school. Like everything that you learn is on YouTube, you know. And YouTube is your best friend, like when it's coming to new styles, new techniques, whatever. But my opinion is, at the end of the day, you do need to have your license, because I mean, you can get in trouble. Again, it depends on your state, but you can get in trouble, and you can do booth rent, you can't work at a salon if you don't have your license. So like it might seem like a waste of time and money, especially if you already have the knowledge, but legally you do need your license.
But it is a good start. Like if you find a good opportunity to where an instructor is let's say on Instagram, you find them and you really like how their work is, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what, like I'm gonna take their class. It's like probably like $600-700. I'm not sure what it ranges now, but let's say you take their class. I mean, by all means, go for it. You know, I mean, nowadays I don't know how much it can go for, but usually like $700-800.
It's
and
like
they'll teach you. They'll teach you from literally like what you need, and they'll even give you a starter packet, or like a kit, and then you can kind of like go from that and then get your license, because you do need it at the end of the day if you're gonna want to like expand and like, you know, start your own branding and all of that. Like you're gonna need your license to do that, because you are working with like clients, and any time that something can go wrong or might go wrong, they can sue you, and if you don't have that, then it's kind of like, you know, you're screwed. So that's why I'm getting my license. Nothing bad has happened, but Yes, that's why I'm
That's
going to school.
exciting.
And I'm just excited. So if y'all have any more questions within the school and like getting a certification, you can just comment and let us know, and then we can answer for you guys on the next one.
Yes, but again, everybody's experience is different. So
Right.
just because I had like a bad experience doesn't mean that you
Yeah.
will. Just do your research on what school you want to go to. If you have the extra money and you want to spend it a little bit more on a different school, by all means. But if you're not really big on like having the best experience and all you want is your license and your hours done, then save a little bit of money and like go to a regular simple school, because you're gonna get the same thing at the end of the day. Just my opinion.
Yeah. With that being said, whether it's in school or getting your certification, you're always going to practice on people, on your clients, on friends, or really, really focus when you're practicing, focus on certain things. Let's say you're starting lashes. I don't know how nails work, but with lashes, you sometimes they tell us to start with classics. To start with classics because you can see what direction and the way you place it. You place your lash.
And like isolating, huh? That's one of the main things.
Isolating makes sure you're like focusing on one lash. So little things that you can perfect as you're practicing, it's the better for the long run. Like when you're getting actual taking paying clients in, it's from what I recommend if you're starting lashes.
Like, don't just be like, oh, I want to be perfect at mega volume right away. Like, first you got to perfect your isolation, retention.
Yeah.
So, like, exactly what Diana was saying, same with nails. Like, I would recommend to first practice, like, on your application and making sure your apex is great, rather than just like wanting to jump in and wanting to know how to do like draw characters and stuff like that, because there's levels to perfecting your craft, and you need to really focus on level 1 before you can jump to level 10, because that's really how you're gonna build that clientele when you know how to perfect from the beginning.
That can apply to both of us because one, for lashes, you won't build your clientele if your lashes don't last like past a week. And I mean, it's a work in progress. So if it does, if that's where you start off, it's okay. Like I was there and
I was there too. My sets were popping off a week after. Like, it's normal.
It's normal, but that's why we say like it's and I'm assuming Rosie's, right?
Yeah.
Advice to really perfect as you go. Don't just like because you know how to do it and like move on to the next. No, because like it's gonna affect your clientele, and I mean, and you'll probably even start raising your prices as you go because you've been in the industry for so long. You're like, oh well, my work, I think I need to raise it. Like when it's to start off as with your fundamentals first.
Right. So when do you think it's okay to raise your prices? Like, what did you start off at?
So my prices started off as, I think like classics were like 30 and then my volumes were like 40 or 45.
Really?
Yeah.
Super affordable.
Very affordable. But then again, like, I'm telling you, I struggled at the beginning. Like, I was still at the beginning. I was taking 4 hours, and I wouldn't even fill up your lash lines, like nothing. Like, it was like
very time consuming.
Oh, probably like 50% done. Like, it would be like 2 hours and 2 hours. Like, oh my gosh, man, dude, I would be so frustrated, and I feel so bad for whoever was laying there. Like,
I tried to do lashes one time, and that shit was it was so time consuming. Like, I always say props to the lash techs because, dude, you're there for hours, and like I was there for like 2 hours, and I only got like 5 lashes on, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all this time for it to look bare. So as I'm saying, like, I can't even imagine. Like, it takes another type of patience to do lashes. Like, props.
Very, very patient.
So when did you like feel okay? I'm gonna add, I don't know, $10 more to my services. When did you feel was right?
I think it took me. Oh man, it took me months. It wasn't even like half a year. I think it was like 7 or 8 months until like I gave it a raise because I was like, I mean, I wasn't using much materials because it was from like Amazon and it was like, okay, like I'm starting off, like, okay, whatever. I probably gave it like a $5 raise. I didn't go much, It was like a $5 raise. And then from that, I give it another raise at 6 months.
So it's like every half a year kind of ish.
Yeah, so I asked the same thing about pricing, and for lashes, I was recommended to do 2 or 3 times a raise throughout the year. It just depends.
Like 5.
Your work, your obviously you like your products. Like you have to kind of match up not just your pay and your lashes and like a whole
your progress.
Like because of other people's prices. Oh, okay, well mine should look the same. No, like you want to take into consideration your materials, what you're buying, like because it's what you're paying off as you get clients in. So it's not just like you're paying at the same time.
But I also feel like what goes into that too is knowing that people are seeking more of you. Like if you're noticing that people are like, hey girl, I want to book, and you're starting to build that clientele, that means you're doing something right. So like she said, it doesn't have to be like a $10-15 like raise. Obviously not. If you feel comfortable with that and your clients are down to pay that, then go ahead. But I know raising your prices can be like a little tricky and you might feel bad for doing so, but if you have the demand for it and if you're getting more busier and you're investing into better tools, then I don't see a problem to raise your prices. I think you should, and if there's clients that you might lose because of that, then they're not the clients for you.
Exactly. That's like, what I was gonna bring up too. Like it's not just I think you've said this before. Not all money is good money.
Yes, I agree.
So we have a baby
special guest in the house. Also, depending like what area you are, like how you mentioned earlier, also has to do with pricing. So like if you're like in the heights or anything, obviously like in a higher area, then your pricing is gonna go up because rent wise or whatever the case may be. But it's okay. You're a mom vibes. It's okay.
Ahorita que
he'll probably get us more viewers.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. I'm fucking.
All right.
Right now that we're on the topic of like workspace and stuff, I feel like it's another big thing that we need to talk about because it should be clean and neat no matter what your case is at the moment. If you're home based or like if you're doing them out of your room, like just because you're home based or doing them out of your room doesn't mean that you can't be clean, organized, and sanitized, professional.
You always want to avoid one, it's like you'll get criticized for it. Two, it can mess up your reputation. Three, it can cause some damage to your client's business. Nails, eyes, face if you do makeup, hair.
If you're not clean,
you just like you need to have sanitation to like the max. Like it needs to always be done, and it can be scary because you, regardless if you're licensed or if you're certified, you never want to have that to where like a client comes and sues you because of a certain situation that happened, and then your area not being clean, your area, like it just gives it and adds another reason to why things happened, and you just want to avoid that. Like
and then you can get your license suspended. It's
like,
scary,
very.
So just always make sure whatever your case is, be clean. If you need to take a course on barbicide or disinfecting, even if you're not able to go to school right now or whatever you may have going on, just do your research, learn how to properly disinfect your tools because you can really cause somebody to get a really bad infection where, for nails, their finger might have to be amputated because of that. Like where you can, pass on to somebody like a transmittable disease, and you don't want to be in charge for that because like you were saying, you can get sued for that. So just do your research and make sure that you're not reusing any tools you can't on other people to save money or whatever the case is. I mean, I've seen Nail6 cut their files in half, and that's totally fine. If you really need to save some money, just don't use that same one on somebody else because it can go south real quick, and you don't want to be responsible for somebody's illness at the end of the day.
And if you always need any more guidance, you have other platforms that you can get your help from. Google, YouTube, like all these things that you can search up, like, oh, how do you do this? Like I know some people aren't even certified or go to school and get their license. They just learn off of YouTube, and they buy all their products and they don't have anything, but at the end of the day you still want to make sure that you're on the right path, and then to avoid any complications,
taking all the precautions you
way.
need to.
Yeah, you always want to be prepared.
It's better to be safe than sorry, guys. Like,
right. It's always something, but we're just sharing from our experiences. We don't know exactly, like, others have been probably very successful, but we're just speaking out,
giving you advice on what we think is important, must do's as a beginner. Like, for sure, cleanliness, sanitation, disinfecting, perfecting one thing at a time is very important. Don't just jump into it willingly and like just not really educating yourself in that background. So, and with that being said, I feel like we always talk about this, how social media is like a main thing in your journey, and you know, like, word of mouth is still a thing, how we mentioned too, but like how I was telling her earlier, like, social media is such a big platform that we need to utilize it. No, he wants to be roaming.
He's not feeling it.
He wants to be roaming around. Speaking of social media, just, you know, take advantage of your social media. Make sure you're I mean, TikTok is getting banned, so I don't know about TikTok. Hopefully they don't ban it, but like, I'm not like on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook. People tell me to get on it, but I will always say, like, at least have a page. Like, I do have a page on there. I don't use it as much, but you can always link everything on every page. So, like, even if you're inactive and they find you, they can seek other ways to find what platform you use most and, you know, book your appointment. So, just take advantage of it, honestly. Like, it's very important.
Facebook, I'm not really sure how it works. I'm not very active on there.
They have something like Reels too, but I don't know what they call it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But Facebook, I have it just to like post my work. I don't have anything attached to that. So, what's your name? Tell us about you.
Yeah, just use social media to your advantage, guys. It's gonna be your BFF. There's just so many potential clients you can get. Like, you know, I've had people come to me and they're from like Cypress area, and it's like, if they really like your work, they're gonna drive to you no matter how far it is, because they know they're gonna get what they want at the end of the day. So it's like, without the social media, you probably wouldn't have gotten that potential client. So
social media is really like your key to expanding, because different locations, different areas, use them hashtags.
Yeah, hashtags. So with that being said, we're gonna end it here.
We hope that today's episode was a little bit of guidance and introduction to what to do and what you basically must do.
Not everybody's career is gonna be the same, like, journey, you know, everything's gonna be different. Some's gonna go smoother than others, but as long as you at least have these things down, like, it ensures a smoother start for you. And we just hope that these tips and tricks can like really just advance you in your journey, and that's pretty much all we can say. Obviously, the more episodes we bring out, the better and juicier and more knowledgeable they will get. So just stay tuned for next week's video, which will be every Friday.
We're glad that you stayed through to the end. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I hope that this is some advice into your career
that helps you,
and
because that's what we're here for.
Of course.
See you guys on our next episode next Friday. We're gonna go ahead and leave our socials here, as well as the description box below. Make sure to follow us on our social medias, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye besties.